So one of the things I did before this recording was I went into Google Earth, and I have a friend who lives just north of Brays Bayou from me. She lives in a neighborhood called Brays Heights. And so what I wanted to do was create a project for her neighborhood. And so the first thing I needed to do was to create a little map that I could import into iNaturalist to designate that geographical area. So I use Google Earth, which is a free application that you can use to explore the planet. It's just an amazing utility, but you can also make what are called shape files. You can kind of draw polygons or shapes around particular spaces, and then you can export that. And that's what I've already done. This is kind of a little bit like a cooking show where I've already done that work. So what you're going to do here in iNaturalist is you are going to do the following. You're going to hit on more if you don't see it, and you're going to go to places. And you're going to go down and add a place. So I'm going to click on add a place. I'm going to give it a name. So in this case, I'm going to give it the name Brays Heights. And then I'm going to choose a file here, and that file has to be in a specific format called KML. And a KML file can be made in the Google Earth application. So I'm going to click on here, and let's see here. There's Millwood Village. Tell you what. I'm going to stop share for just a second, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to screen share one more time. I'm going to get us into Google Earth so I can show you how to do this. So here's Google Earth. Here are the contours of this neighborhood. So what I'm going to do is I've already drawn this, and I drew it using this polygon feature right here. And so now here is Brays Heights here. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to save the place as to my desktop, and I'm going to call it Brays Heights. There we go, KML file. All right, now I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to now screen share again with Google Earth. And so I'm going to go to my desktop and look for Brays Heights. There it is. And place type is going to want to know. And there's no real good, I'll just tell you, there's not a super great designation for a neighborhood. So I'm just going to put a division. I'm going to save the place. So now that place has been saved in iNaturalist, and now I can make a project out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. Get over here. And where you're going to find this, if you're just logged into the iNaturalist desktop here, what you do is I'm logged in as Habitat Jaime. I'm going to go to projects, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom where it says start a project. So I'm going to click on there. And what I would use is collection projects here on the left. And I would click get started. So we're going to call this Brays Heights. And I created a project banner to give it a little bit more flair. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to go down to the right folder. And there we go. And so I have a nice little thing there. And I'll go ahead and do a project icon. And I will just use a picture from, let's see here. That Coreopsis would be a good one. It's a pretty one. And that way, when I look at my projects, I can see all of my projects lined up, and each one has a little bit of an icon. And I'm just going to put in here a project to observe and enjoy the biodiversity of the Brays Heights neighborhood in Houston, Texas. All right. And there are all sorts of ways that you can define what types of data you put in here, and where you pull from, including if you want to just collect bird data, or if you just want to collect butterfly data, or whatever. You can also include right here which users can observe, but I'm going to leave that fairly open. The only thing I really want to do is I want to make sure that it gets collected from Braze Heights. So I created the place earlier, and it automatically goes into the system, and it's available now. So I'm going to put Braze Heights there. And then I'm going to say down here that, any of this data is okay. Media type, you can say whether you want just photos or if you want sound as well. And you can also delineate whether or not it has to be a native species, or it could be introduced, or both. I'm going to put any. And then you can put it for a certain date. So for the City Nature Challenge, all of our projects are made between a certain start date and a certain end date, but this is going to be an ongoing thing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Done. And when I do that, what you'll see is that you get an automatic read of how many observations in that little geography have already happened. So there have been only 33 observations and 23 species with 33 identifiers and 14 observers. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff to be done here in terms of looking and finding more species. But now that we got the project, anytime anyone makes an observation in that area, it gets collected for this. So this is very exciting. So you can start to see down here that it's already generated a map that has all the pins on it for what has been observed. So I'm excited to share this with my friend and her kids so they can start filling this out as well. You can also do this for your house. So if you just want to do a project, I'm going to go back to my projects. I'm going to go down to, here we go. And so what I have here is I just have a listing for my house, and these are all the pins that I've taken here. These are all the observations that I've made. And it allows me to keep track of what I'm finding. And so I can make a checklist here. I can show other people during presentations what I've found, and I can keep general track. All right. Well, I hope that you guys have gotten something out of this training, that you know a little bit about City Nature Challenge, a little bit more about the iNaturalist app. Know that you can always reach out to me at jaime.gonzalez@tnc.org, and we look forward to having you at the City Nature Challenge and beyond to collect information that is helpful for wildlife through the iNaturalist app. I bid you farewell and best of luck. Thank you so much.